Ooh. It feels like if you're not living in the US, your whole life is essentially just over at this stage. It feels like every single company in the world is in the US. Every single business that's doing successfully is in the US. Every major firm is in the US. Like, I'm in Canada right now, and it feels to me like because I'm in Canada, there's just like no opportunities for anything. Especially with the whole like AI taking every single job, every white collar job, I should say. It literally feels like, okay, all the AI companies are in the US, like the big players in the US, your Anthropics and all those people. And Canada has like absolutely none of that. It feels like the only big company in Canada is like a Shopify or something. If you're in any field at all, it literally seems like if you're not in America, you lost. Like, and this is what I mean by location maxing. For example, if you think of like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna, do the old school thing of like getting a regular job or whatever at some, going to business school or something. It's like every single major hedge fund or big like finance institution or whatever, like the actual big ones are all in New York or, in Chicago or whatever in America. And living in Canada, there's just none of that infrastructure, it feels like. If you're in like the tech world, it feels like every single person in the world is moving to SF for that, or like New York for that, or whatever, to get their VC funding there. Like, there's no VC funding out in Canada for any startup, pretty much. Like, investors don't really care about Canadian startups as much. Like, everyone just goes to New York or SF or whatever to go to Founders Inc. or whatever. And like you talk to some of these VC people, and it's like, yeah, there's no appetite for Canadian anything. Like it feels like if you're in Canada, you're just heavily nerfed. Like every method's been patched. Like if you're in Canada trying to do any type of startup, like it's essentially cooked for you. Like you gotta get over to SF. I know like probably 10 people that like started a startup in Canada, and then as soon as they got the tiniest traction, they instantly moved to SF, like instantly went to like Y Combinator or Founders Inc. or whatever is over there, A16Z, whatever, because there's literally like investors don't care. Like even if you penetrate a little bit of like Canadian market, anything, they're gonna want to see American market numbers, or they're gonna want to see like, oh, okay, like, but can you do this in America? So like as much as they say like, oh, Canada's like the smaller sub ecosystem or whatever of like North America, it's like kind of America but light. It feels like there's literally zero opportunities here compared to the American market. It feels like whatever job you're applying for here, you will get like guaranteed, regardless of what it is, if it's in finance, if it's in marketing, if it's in anything, literally anything, you'll make more money in America doing it, which is pretty crazy. Like, literally makes no sense to be in Canada. Like, if you were here, you literally just got nerfed. Everything's also banned here. It feels like everything is banned, like all the newer ways of making money. Like, if you're like, oh, okay, I don't want a traditional job, I want to be like a content creator or something, like, which is pretty funny for me to say that. But like, if you want to do that, the monetization here is like not even close to the same. Like, it basically doesn't exist for Canadian creators or whatever. Like if you're trying to make TikTok clips or something, like you're probably not gonna make like a quarter or whatever of someone doing it in the US just because of like all the monetization opportunities that they got over there. Being in Canada just feels like you're nerfed. We also can't even, like, we don't even have any of the fun stuff, right? Like, so it's like, oh, okay, we're nerfed, and we don't have the fun stuff, right? Like I can't I can't go on Kalshi, I can't go on Polymarket, I can't bet on whether LeBron's hairline is gonna, recede an inch further. It's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like I can't bet on how many times, someone's gonna clap their hands or whatever during an interview. Like I can't bet on that stuff either. Like it's like give me something. You know what I mean? Like binary options are banned in Canada. I can't do anything. How am I supposed to even have fun in here? You know what I mean? It feels like if you're in America, you're just having like more fun too. And also like the Canadian banking system, like all of our systems just feel so much worse and so much more like so much more risk averse than the American versions. Like if you live in America or whatever and you want to start a business or something, you can go to a bank and you can get a loan, and it won't be, 30% interest, 20% interest, 15% interest or whatever. You can get a lower interest rate loan for starting some, small business or something, like if you wanted to go that route. In Canada, that just doesn't exist. Like banks will not give small businesses money unless it's like ridiculously high interest rates, like over 14%. And it wouldn't even be like for your business. It would be like some small line of credit thing or something. There's just no risk appetite. Nobody wants to take risks. Everyone wants to play it super safe. And I feel like that's the reason why it's like gotten this lame and gotten this boring, is because everyone just takes the safest route, and that usually doesn't play out very nicely when you have people in America taking the riskier route and when that shit pays off. So it's like we have no AI companies, which is like feels like one of the biggest like disruptors in the world right now. Like we don't have a single one of them really. And we also don't have any like businesses out here really left. Like as soon as any business does well in Canada, they instantly migrate over to America, or they like expand the service offering to be in America too. Like it feels like if you're in Canada, it's like the starting ground for something. And then as soon as you get to something, it's like, all right, go to Miami, go to LA, go to California, go to New York, whatever. Every like creator that started out in Canada, or every single person that owned any sort of business, or any sort of person in any career field actually, like if you're in finance or whatever, you start off in Canada and then all of a sudden you realize, okay, there's so much more money to be made in the US after you get a little bit of experience, and you instantly go over there. It's like there's absolutely no competitive advantage to being in Canada. And it doesn't feel like anyone's like gonna try to make it better just because there's nobody here taking any risks. Like it's purely a like scarcity mindset, and like, okay, we're just not going to do anything. Like we're not going to, you know what I mean? We're not going to take a risk. We don't give people opportunities. Obviously, just the market size itself is like there's only, 1/10 of the people that just live in Canada as opposed to the people that live in America. So it's like that's smaller. It's not going to get better. You know what I mean? Like the last time I remember Canadians being in a better spot than the US was probably back in like 2009 or 2010, when I first moved here, when like the dollar was like close to even, or like the Canadian dollar was like are worth like 1 cent more than the American dollar. That was probably the last time I remember in my life that Canada was like close and like competing. You know what I mean? Ever since then, it's been like a downward slope, a complete downward slope. It feels like there's just no chance out here to succeed at all. That's literally what it feels like. Every single system in Canada is built around not giving people that are actually doing something worthwhile, or like, okay, taking a risk, any chance. It's like, no, just go with the safe route, go with the safe route. And it's like, okay, cool, I can try to go with the safe route, but the safe route's gone too now. The going to college, getting a job or whatever, most of these white collar jobs are going to get automated. So it's like, okay, I have to go into the trades, I guess. That's like the last thing you can do. But that's not going to create outsized returns. Like, that's not going to bring us any closer to being able to compete with a country like the US, just because there's so much more like accepting and like a celebratory of people taking risks, like starting businesses, whatever, that we just have no chance out here. It's like we don't even have a hope of competing at that level. So yeah, living in Canada, you're literally just nerfed. It feels like anywhere, if you're not in the US, then everyone's just like trying to get there, because it's like there's literally no competitive advantage to being in any other country. It feels like if you were not born there, or you can't like easily go there, or you can't, emigrate there or whatever, or you can't get like a work visa or whatever, like if you can't do that, you're basically cooked. Like you're basically cooked. It's like, what are people supposed to do if you're not born in the US? Or your parents didn't like emigrate there early or whatever, like they didn't get there early, the early mover advantage. And it feels like Canadians, like maybe we should, like in theory, right? You think of like a small company. Small companies are able to move faster because they have less people, and they have like less bureaucracy, or they have less, whatever, less of the politics of like a huge company. So you'd think, oh, okay, we're like a smaller country. Maybe, that might translate a little bit, but like it doesn't translate at all. It feels like there's more rules and more like things that are illegal, and more things that just like make it so that we can't progress. And yeah, I'm just like really annoyed. Like I've been here. I'm my parents came here from Kazakhstan. Like I've been here for 15 years, and like the best time that I've ever been here was the first year that I came here. Like it has not gotten better, which is insane. Like we came here for like, the whole immigrant thing of like, oh, okay, like go for there for a better future for your kids or whatever. And obviously, like my parents could have never known that any, the AI was going to happen. But that's the reality that we're living in. Like that did happen. You know what I mean? And now we're in the post AI world. And it feels like in Canada, you can't compete. Like, there's nobody here even trying. Canada needs something. Like, we need something back. You know what I mean? Like, give us something. But yeah, I just wanted to share that today. I don't know.